And the first one lies, I think, also in the origins of the concept of just transition, the just transition concept, because the concept itself, it emerged in the 1970s, 1980s, in the context of labor unions in the United States, right? Driven by workers that were working in like the toxic industries like coal, oil, petrochemicals, and they were faced with the environmental impact of the industries they were working in, and it will also impact their own health, right? So they were trying to figure out like how can we combine the environmental and also the social and labor concerns in the industries that we are working in, right? And so if you contrast it with the ASM sector, the concept comes from a very formal labor union type of context, right? But if we contrast it with the ASM sector, the ASM sector is quite the opposite, right? It is not really formalized. The sector is largely stigmatized and also criminalized in some other countries. So it's very difficult for the sector to come and formulate certain demands as how it is with the labor unions, which are also often in the focus of just transition concepts. So I think this is one reason that the ASM doesn't fit into that classical labor or formal labor category. And then secondly, also how the concept of just transition evolved over time and how it was adopted by governments and leading international organizations is that, like you rightly mentioned, there's a certain focus on certain industries, and the focus is mostly on like cutting emissions, right? But the ASM sector is not amongst the top emitters globally, even though with increased mechanization, the emissions are also increasing, and deforestation, of course, also leads to decreased carbon capture. So it definitely has an impact, but it's not like the classical polluter in the terms of emissions. And then also, I think the third one is also what we have to acknowledge, that they are also contesting understandings of what is just transition, right? As you mentioned in your question I think the dominant approaches to just transition are a bit more narrow, and they also focus more on the technological aspect, right? And the emission aspect, which makes it very easy to omit the realities and the importance of the ASM sector, the people that work in it. So yeah, I think these are three reasons why it has taken quite time for the ASM sector to be acknowledged as part of a just transition.
The artisanal small-scale mining sector, or ASM, produces most of the minerals that are needed for energy transition. So for instance, lithium, cobalt, iron ore, etc. However, many of these miners are excluded from the benefits of the minerals that they produce. How do you explain that contradiction to someone hearing it for the first time?